Hello, hello! Today we've got another spicy video as we go through the Apex Legends tier list. So some of you might have seen my weapons tier list, and if you haven't, you can click here. I'm going to put a card there, I assume. And there was some controversial choices, and this one is no different. But let me know what you think in the comments, and don't forget to do all the YouTube stuff, the like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Enjoy! So the Season 19 Legend tier list for Apex. Now, before I do this, listen, okay? There's going to be some bias here, all right? This is an opinion-based tier list. So we're going to kick off with Ash. I think Ash is actually A tier. I'm not really an Ash player myself. I think her ulti is exceptionally good. I think the ability to fast push someone insane, like just get the drop on them 3 versus 1, and it can be super, super powerful. Especially with some of the POIs in things like Broken Moon. You can Ash on top of a building, and suddenly whoever's holding that is now facing a 3v1. And if you use it right, the ability for her to overwhelm, I think, is incredibly strong. I think she can be super good if you play it properly. Ballistic, I think, is dog shit. I honestly think Ballistic is dog shit. I think his tactical doesn't really do much unless you're mid-fight. I think he's trash. Yeah, I think he's trash, honestly. The ultimate can be good for the unlimited ammo, but... So I don't think Ballistic is great right now. Bangalore, I mean... Bangalore's still S tier, let's be honest. Like, they nerfed her, but how can you... I think... The utility she provides, even though you can't craft digis anymore, there's still plenty of digis around to find if you loot well enough. Which still makes that smoke digi meta very viable. So I don't think you can argue. Her passive is still super fucking good. Her ulti is still amazing for zone control and for the area control. I don't think you can argue that Bang's still S tier. Bloodhound. I actually think in terms of the scan legends, I think Bloodhound is actually still very good. I think Bloodhound is the best of the bunch. So I think you can still super justify playing a Bloodhound in most situations. Catalyst, still S tier, dude. Like, I think the nerfs were nice. I think there were definitely some nice quality of life changes in terms of things like the spiky ball on top of the tactical. You could no longer hide behind or use as a shield. I think was a nice change. Maybe not for Catalyst mains, but for everyone else. But the utility is still there. The wall is still incredible for cutting an area in half or rotating. The tactical and the passive for the doors and stuff is still amazing. I think in terms of taking a space and holding it, she's still incredibly, incredibly strong. And I don't think you can argue otherwise. Yes, man, daddy. Yes, man, daddy. Yes, man, daddy. Okay, here's the thing. I'm going to put him in C tier. Let me tell you why. He kind of serves a similar function, but worse to Catalyst in terms of holding a space, right? Taking a building, taking a space, and stopping people wanting to push you in, right? These very defensive... I mean, he is a defensive legend, right? There's, you know, similar to Watson's Catalysts. But he doesn't have the same utility as like a Catalyst wall, right? I think on certain maps, on maps like maybe Olympus, he can be quite good to take these like POIs. On something like Broken Moon, depending on where you are, there's a lot of open space. And he's just fucking useless in open space. He doesn't really offer you anything. So on these larger maps, I think he's pretty shit. And obviously we're talking first half of season 19. So that's how we're getting it. Conduit. Conduit is S tier. I don't think you can argue. I think most of you have probably played her by now, or at least tried her. I don't think you can argue with that. You know, her tactical is insanely strong. The ability to just refight immediately while maybe others can't is incredibly good. The area control and the zone control of her ultimate can also be insanely good. We got absolutely dicked by it yesterday. I was playing some offline with a streamer friend of mine, and we just getting shafted by conduits. Just placing their ults really, really well in like end zones and stuff, and it was absolutely shitting on us. Particularly in those final circles, like, I mean, I would say that is one thing Caustic is really good for, the final zone, if you can get there. But Conduit's ult is also really good for that. So, I mean, there's no debate. She's S tier. Crypto is super interesting, and I want to talk about Crypto. I think Crypto has some viability. His ultimate is still dog shit. I think EMP is dog shit. Unless you time it perfectly, I think EMP is absolute dog shit. And they need to change it. I think it's bollocks. However, his drone is super useful. And the ability to if you play a really hard anchor, Crypto, I think it can be super viable. If you know that you have very reliant fraggers, you got very reliant aggressive teammates who, you know, can take these fights really well, I think Crypto can be super, super fucking good. You know, you've got that. It's almost like you've got that like hard that safety net is what I'm thinking of. So these, you know, if you got players who are super aggressive, let them fucking go and just say, hey, go in for it, go nuts. I've got your back if you fuck up. I'll grab your banners and we'll reset without like any danger. So I think if that's your play style, I think there is a place in the meta for him. Is he S tier? No. But I think there is a space for him, and I think he could be possibly pretty good. As much as I hate this motherfucker, who we're going to be cosplaying soon, we're going to be cosplaying in the next few weeks. Hopefully before Christmas. Fusey boy! Fuse is the bane of my goddamn fucking ranked life right now. Oh my god, I hate playing against this guy right now. I don't know what changed apart from the maps. He just feels incredibly oppressive. Every time that I'm trying to reset a fight, I'm trying to drone, I'm trying to, you know, get people back up on their feet, there's a Fuse knuckle fucking me left, right, and center. And I think particularly for these, you know, with this new res strat, right? And I think with the fact that people can res a lot easier now, you're finding a lot more teams in the final zones or in the later zones. And what that means is there are people holding positions for a long amount of time. You know, there are maps where sometimes we're holding a position for like 10, 15 minutes. And you're just holding the same place. Fuse makes that really annoying and really difficult. And even if you're not getting knocks and stuff with it, burning through people's bats, burning through their meds, burning through what, you know, all of their inventory, just by knuckle cluster. I call it knuckle fucking because it does fuck me every time. I think he's S tier, and I don't think you can argue that point either. Gibby. Now I'm going to put Gibby C tier. I feel like Gibby will always be some type of viable in some way if you're a good Gibby player. I just don't feel like he offers enough. The bubble is still amazing. The bubble is always going to be really good, but only in specific situations. I feel like we're in a very aggressive meta right now, as you know, especially in higher elos from what I've been seeing, because I'm not there. But from what I've been seeing, people are playing like fairly aggressive to try and full wipe teams so they can't get the reses off, right? And I think Gibby, I don't know. I feel like if you just push a Gibby in the right way, he's not as strong as he used to be. So I'm gonna put him in C. Horizon, again, I think Horizon's another S tier. I don't think you can argue. She's one of the best fragger legends out there. The Q is always going to be incredible for getting height. I think the ulti is still really good. I think the tactical for me is what makes Horizon. And the movement ability as well. You know, if you're... Apex is a lot about movement. I think if you're really good with movement, she's still incredibly good. Lifeline. Now, a lot of you are going to disagree with me with this, okay? Because I know a lot of you don't play Lifey. As a Lifeline main, I don't give a fuck what you think, okay? Lifeline is S tier. That's actually a lie. She's A tier. I obviously love playing Lifeline, you know, and I will vouch for her all day, every day. I think the reses can be useful, but honestly, as I said, I feel like this is quite an aggressive meta. I feel like people are just kind of aping you a lot of the time. So you don't often get a chance to get the reses off properly. I think the drone is super fucking good, though. I'm looking forward to the Lifey Reborn. And I have no doubt that when the Reborn comes in, she's 100% S tier. But I'm going to say A. I'm still really enjoying her. I'm actually not playing her all the time. I'm switching and swapping, but I think she's still pretty okay. Loba. Loba, I'm putting B tier. Loba's B tier. Now, here's the thing. I think the shop is still incredible. I think a tactical is still pretty good. She is a support legend, so you still get the support perks with her. I would say it's a toss-up, you know, between personal preference, whether you prefer a Loba or... like, whether you prefer a Loba or a Lifey for, I guess, getting a bit of loot. She's still going to be a great support option. I guess it's just a personal preference. Maggie, D tier. Well, actually, yeah, fuck it. Maggie D tier. I think Maggie's shit. Personal opinion. I think she pigeonholes you a little bit. I think her tactical is super fucking good. Don't get me wrong. For situationally, her tactical is incredibly useful. And is, I think, part of the reason why Gibby kind of fell out in some ways. Not completely, but in some ways. But I am not seeing Maggie played that much at all. I think her ulti is very lackluster. It gives you a bit of spacing and it gives you the ability to push in. So you would have thought in this kind of meta that she might be useful. I don't really see it. I think there's the utility she offers the team isn't great. Mirage. I'm actually going to put Mirage A. A or B. A or B. One of the... he's like high B, low A. I'm going to put him B. And the reason I'm going to put him B is because in high elos, it's very easy to still pick out the Mirage. The confusion stuff doesn't help a huge amount. But if you use him properly, you can get a really good amount of information as a support hero using the tactical if you use it correctly. He has viability in certain situations. I've been winning quite a few games with Mirage, I'm not going to lie. He can be very useful in the end zone. And it's been working out for me really well. Just finding out where the last few teams are kind of hiding. But I don't think I can put him higher than B. Nuki. Now, here's the thing. Okay. Hear me out on this one. Newcastle has the... I'm going to put him very low A, high B. And hear me out. It can actually be really good. And not just for the LTM. I think if you play him well, Newcastle is an exceptionally strong support legend. He's got a really nice bit of movement to bail you out if you go in a bit too far. He's got really nice resin capabilities. He's got the support buff. He's just tricky to hit the right timings, I think, in my opinion. If you don't play him well, he's pretty fucking useless. But his ultimate can be amazing in the later fights. So I think potentially I'm going to put like A, but it's very player dependent. That's going to be my caveat. I think if you can play him, he is one of the most annoying people to play against. But you have to get his abilities timed very well. Octane. Oh boy. This is going to be a bit divisive. Now I'm putting Octane in A for one reason. Octane is in A because similarly to Newcastle, if you are a movement god, Octane is unmatched, right? He's fucking incredible. However, I'm actually going to change my mind. And I'll tell you why. I'm actually going to put him in B. The reason I've moved him down is because if you don't play with your goddamn... listen, I'm going to fucking zoom in for this. If you don't play with your goddamn fucking team, Octane is the worst, okay? That motherfucker is always halfway across the map before you can even get to him. If you can use him, his movement is unparalleled and incredible. But the amount of times that I'm just, you know, I've lost because I've got to go and chase after an Octane that's halfway down the fucking hill on Storm Point, heading towards God knows whatever POI. He's already dead by the time you get there because he's rolled up on by like 2 or 3 teams. Pathy. I'm going to put Pathy in A. And the reason I'm going to put Pathy in A, he's amazing, I think. His passive might be one of the worst fucking passives in the game. It's fucking bollocks. They need to redo that completely. But his zip lines are incredible. His movement ability is incredible. Yeah, exactly. Pathy actually has a passive. Question mark is stupid as shit. His zips are super good for particularly something like Broken Moon, I think. I think he's pretty good for Broken Moon. And especially, he's also got a lot of ability to dip in and out. So I think in the right hands, he can be very, very good. I feel like, you know, maybe not on Broken Moon as much, but on Stormpoint, for example, you know, you want someone who can help you rotate, you know, whether it's going to be a Valk, a Pathy. You want someone to help you get in and out. And you do have evacs for that, so it's less important now. Evacs do help a huge amount. But I still think he's super viable. Rampart! Rampart's a tricky one. Rampart's a tricky one. I'm in between B and A for Rampart. Her walls are real fucking good. I'm gonna put her in A. Yeah. I think her walls are super good. Yeah, I would say she's like high A, to be honest. She's very good for holding these late game areas. Yeah, her walls are really fucking annoying, actually. Yeah, I'm gonna say like high A. That's what I'm sticking with. I'm gonna go with high A. She can be pushed on pretty easily if you coordinate properly, but she does make you stop and think. And particularly for holding these POIs, these buildings late game, holding these high grounds, holding these roofs, it can be really fucking annoying if you just got one camping. Rev. Oh boy. Revy boy. One frag and those walls don't do shit. Yes. Yeah. And that is true, Zeri. But she does have a lot of walls. She has a lot more walls than you have nades. Okay, so hear me out. I think Rev is actually good. However, he's a solo pub legend. In the same way, and the reason I've put him here, because it's the same principle as Octane. This motherfucker is just going to jump, zoom the fuck off, climb some crazy ass walls, and just go bananas. Now, he can be an incredible entry fragger, but he's a pub stomper. He doesn't really offer anything for the team. He's just fucking going in and trying to get a kill before he gets downed, right? His ultimate is super oppressive, though. So I'd say like high B to A. But I don't think in high comp, he's very he's very viable. I think he's like good if you're a skilled pub stomper. If you've got to work for higher ranks, you've got to work in a team. And I just think he doesn't help with that, you know? But Rev's voice. But listen, if you want to, you know, a sugar daddy with a sexy voice, then S tier, right? Sia Eater. Sia's, they nerfed that fucker into the ground. He's dog shit now. There's absolutely zero reason to take a Sia over Bloodhound, Crypto, or any other wallhack character. There's just no point. I think that's all D tier. I don't think we need to go further. I think his ultimate is still good, by the way. If you look at where we're playing right now, and this is my tier list for the first half of season 19, right? If you look at the maps we're playing at right now, Broken Moon, Stormpoint, they're big open spaces a lot of the time. You are going to get fuck all good use out of that Seer Dome. If you're on Olympus, maybe, where you have a bit more compact POIs in some places, then sure. But in these big open areas, can you imagine throwing a Seer roll in fucking Jurassic in the middle of Stormpoint? You're going to be like, great, I can see one of the fucking 12 houses these people could be in. It's useless. Valk! I think Valk is B tier. I still think she has some viability. She's still good for the rotations, particularly on Stormpoint, something like that, or Broken Moon, where the rings do feel like they come in super quick. She can help you keep ahead of the storm, make good rotations, skip past teams holding edge of zone. I think she can be really good to help you get height as well. I don't think she's as good as she once was. Vantage! Zeta, she's shit. I don't care. She's shit. Let me tell you why she's shit, right? Let me go into detail of why she's shit. You know what they need to do? They need to change one thing to make Vantage one of the best legends in the game. Vantage is shit because as soon as she aims at you, you know exactly where that motherfucker is. You know exactly where they are, how far away they are, and suddenly everything is given up. Your position, your angle, everything. You know exactly where they are. If they change that, she becomes one of the best legends in the game. For right now. On season 19, she would be one of the best if that fucking laser sight didn't show exactly where she is at all times. It's stupid as shit. And don't get me wrong, her ultimate hurts like donkey dicks. And if you're caught out in the open, she's gonna fuck you, right? And not in the fun way. Without lube, you are gonna go down. But you also, the rest of your team, will also know exactly where she just shot you from. If you have any kind of cover, shit. She has a little bit of movement. That's kind of nice. That's why she's not in D tier. But I'd never use Vantage ever. Redonkulous. Watson! Oh, boy. Where do we put Watson? Oh, boy. Let me have a think about this. This one's a hard one. This one's a hard one. I think I want to put Watson A, but with a caveat. I think Watson takes a lot of skill to use well. She's very good at holding these buildings, holding these endgame areas. The fences are super annoying, easily destroyable. Her ulti is amazing for holding these areas, stopping nades coming in, and giving you constant shields. So she can be really, really solid, but she doesn't offer you anything in fights. She holds an area for you. As soon as you get in the fight, if you cannot use those fences on the fly, she's a walking creep. But her ultimate and fences is super, super good. So that's why I'm going to put her in A. Only for people who can play her properly. Wraith. Sweaty Wraith mains. Sweaty Wraith mains. Sweaty Wraith mains. Sweaty Wraith mains. Man, I don't know. Like, okay. I'm going to put her in B because the type of people who play Wraith honestly need help. So... if you're a Wraith main, you need help. So that's why I'm going to put her in B tier for that reason, okay? She's actually pretty good. I think with the buff, to her passive, if you use it properly, I think she can actually give you a lot of information as well as help rotate out. She's got a lot of utility. Like, you can use her portals in a lot of different ways to either kidnap, to get a down player out of trouble. You can hold your own in the zone to try and get back in, you know, if you're caught out in zone. I think she has a lot of utility to offer rather than just an APer. So I'm going to put her in A tier. So here we go, guys. This is my Apex Legends start of season 19 tier list. Do you agree with it? Have you got anything you would change? I don't think you can argue with any of these, by the way. I'm just saying. I don't think you can. But, you know. Oh, shit. I just moved someone. Who did I just move? Crypto. I think the rest of them, I'm pretty happy with this list. I think this is pretty solid. Let me know if you'd change. And, yeah, there you go. Don't judge the legend off the players. I mean, if I'm judging off the players, let me download this first. Right? If we're going to quickly judge off the kind of people who play the legends. Fuse, D tier. Octane, D tier. Wraith, D tier. In fact, if I'm judging it off the players, this is what we're doing, okay? That's my tier list for the type of people who play. If you're a lifeline main, you might be the best person alive. If you play any other legend, you need to get some help, okay? Talk to someone. I don't care who it is. You just need some help, all right?